amount that is for the scrolls. We've turned suitcases into scrolls because we're sort of an Asian flair and theme to it. Sifu means master or teacher in Chinese, and then Inu means dog in Japanese. And so we're like a master teacher dog. And if you guys go on my YouTube channel, you'll see I have a lot of teaching videos. I'm very instructional. I like to teach everybody about everything. I enjoy teaching a lot. And I was born in the year of the dog. So I'm a master teacher dog. And so this is my token, this is my project, and this is my coin. And anyway, so we decided that the only way to really prevent manipulation is to go on to YouTube live, like they draw the lottery balls live every single day. You know, they go on and they pick the numbers live through a third party, so there's no, you know, chance of collusion or anything like that. And to do that. And so if I can, I just wanted to show you guys like a sample of the cool wheels that I created and do like a mock wheel spin for you guys, if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Whatever you want to share, by all means.
Okay, cool. Thanks. And let's see, I'm getting better at this, but let me just see. Okay, so can you guys see it now?
Yes. Wow, look at that.
Awesome. So I was able to get our logo in, and it's so funny, like, you know, talking about the teacher or whatever. I went onto YouTube. I binge watch YouTube. I binge watch economic videos. I'm a total nerd, right? Okay. Self-admitted nerd. But yeah, so I watched this video and of a teacher who does this to pick her students' names. And so this is the wheel of names, and I was able to load my logo on here, and then I got all of the colors in there, and it just did it all for me, and it was just so cool. But anyway, so I have 420 days. I kind of played around with the numbers. As an accountant, you don't really get to have a lot of fun with too much. It's pretty cut and dry, you know, debit and credit. But so I did like a lot of I have a tweenage boy who, you know, the funny number is 69, you know, and 420 is another funny number. So we've got a lot of those. You'll see in a minute in here. But basically, I did a 60 earn day and 40 burn day split, and I've loaded it in here. But I'm not doing like some people were like, oh, well, why didn't you do like, you know, just a 6 earns and 4 burns on the wheel? I said, because if you do not load it with how many days we have, it doesn't truly randomize it as much as like letting the universe decide, because the universe may decide, hey, we want 4 burn days in a row and 17 earn days. You know, you never know. And so now all the nerds out there, like based on what it is, because all of this is public on the Google Sheets, you can guess, okay, there's 300 or 200 earn days left. So the chances of it being an earn day, the probability of that's going to be higher. Now, if you just had a random 60-40 split every single day, that wouldn't happen. So it makes the game more fun to have the actual 420 earn or burn days in. So, okay, well, you guys, let's go. Let's spin the wheel and see whether today is going to be an earn day or a burn day. Big money, big money.
Look at
that. And it's an earn. Ah, yay! Woo-hoo,
okay.
Woo-hoo. So, and if this had been an actual earn or burn day, what I would do is I would put remove here, and it would actually take it out of the wheel. So as we go down, it'll be less and less. So you'll be able to see more and more. But this is my real wheel that I'm going to use once we go live, once we launch on Pancake. So I'm not going to remove them here, but yeah, you can see all the entries. So like as the days go on, it'll be for, you know, 19, 18, and so on and so forth. Okay, so now we know we're earning, you guys. That means there's an airdrop coming. Now we have to determine the amount of the airdrop, right? Okay, so now we come over to the scroll wheel, and this is what I'm going to be doing every single day live on YouTube. Okay, so, and just to go over, like, so I told you I wanted to be funny. Instead of zeros, I put in like 69 and 420, and, you know, go on, and it's like a bunch of funny numbers, right? Okay, I bought Doge, and, you know, it's common across DeFi to be like, oh, we want it to be like, you know, $4.20 or whatever, or 69 cents. Anyway, but I digress. So, the biggest bag is 100,420,69. So that's what we're rooting for, right? Because we got an earn day, so that's what we want. Big money, big money, big money. Let's see what we get. Oh, let's see. What is it? Okay, 1,004,2069. So just like on the other one, I would come here and remove it, and so there would be less. And so based on how many suitcases or scrolls have been opened, you would realize the probability of what it is. And so in this scenario, like in Deal or No Deal, you have a banker, but truly the banker is going to be the market, because the market based on supply and demand, the market adjusts the price accordingly. So we don't need a banker. This is the banker. But anyway, if you guys want to nerd out like me, and I'm going to come here live every day, and I'm going to put a button right here. But right now, the Google Sheets are under the FAQ sections in how does the daily drawing work. And you're just going to come here and click here. And then I'm going to do a strike through of an earn, the next earn. And I'll just strike through it live and just keep everything updated. And we did, what was it? Was it 1,004,2069, right?
Yes.
That's what we got. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so we got to find, I think we got one of those earlier. Nope. Okay. Or I didn't strike through. Okay, so there we go. And then I'll strike through. And then I'm going to come here and I'm going to do the daily results. And this is guys where you guys can totally like nerd out or whatever. But you can come here and see, run your probabilities, save it as a different spreadsheet. Now I'm the only one that can change this, but you guys can save copies of it and play around with it if you want. And but I'm also like, if you guys are at work and you want to see whether the airdrop or what size bag gets opened, this will get updated, like I said, live every single day. And you guys can see like, oh, the airdrop, happened at like, 7 p.m. or whatever. So you have to be in it to win it. If you're not holding any Sifu and you've taken all your profits and you don't buy back in, that's what encourages the volume too, is to buy back in so you have a bigger bag, because the bigger bag you hold, the bigger percentage of that 1,004,2069 you're going to get. So that is how the earnings and burns work. And if you wanted to, ask me something right now, that's fine, before I talk about the tokenomics, or, we could go ahead and move on to that. Whatever. I'm open. I'm flexible.
There's a few questions that I like to sort of open up with. You explained a lot there. That was awesome. I love your presentation so far. What I really want to go over is your team a little bit more. So I see that you're in here. How big is your guys' team?
So the team right now is it's my project. So it's my project. I'm the queen team. I'm the one that holds the keys, but I have a wonderful support system and team with me, and there's 4 of us right now, myself included. And the first one that I was so happy to bring onto my project is Scott Hollows. Scott was a senior principal, which I'm not sure if you're familiar with, but the principals were very sort of like top of the line. The Yale grads kind of could only work in 3 cities in the world type of software engineers, like the most prestigious job you could have. And he was actually a senior one of those. So he taught those kind of people for a software company called Oracle. You may have heard of them. Very huge software company. And so Scott and I met. We're both actually moderators and admins for a large DeFi group in Facebook, and so we met each other there. And he just like loved, my project, and was like, what, I want to come on board. And I was like looking for, somebody with his expertise, because although I wear the, a very strong accounting and finance hat, and I have worked and liaised between, when I worked for Toyota, we implemented a cutting-edge software, a treasury management software called Quantum. And so I liaised with between the accounting department and the IT department in testing and running that. So I have lots and lots and lots of experience in getting that going and running, simultaneously and that kind of thing. So I knew how important it was to be able to sort of, I could wear both the accounting hat and the liaise hat, but I just, the real code nitty gritty, I really needed help on. So I was so happy when Scott, came on board with us, and he's in Australia, so he's sleeping right now, fully doxed with me as well. Hi, Scott, if you're watching the replay. But anyway, but yeah, so he's amazing. And when we were developing this project, I was so stoked that he had this cool software that was comparing, because we would test, and then the code writers and would make changes to it. This ended up being, I think, version 7 of different tests and things that we added and sort of thing. But he would be able to run a side-by-side code, and it would highlight in yellow anything that was changed out in the code, and he would sort of interpret it for me, because it's sort of different language, sort of speaking Greek, right? And so he would say, okay, this is what this means, and that's what that means, and and so it was really handy to have him on board, and really sort of made the project much more bulletproof as far as that goes, because the code is so important. And when you have another developer giving you your code, you've heard it so many times, and this is why it's so great that I'm the founder and the thing, because there's not going to be any finger pointing. It's not going to be oh, well, this person did this and this person did that, and so on and so forth. That it's all on me. So I wanted to make sure that there was no hidden code in there to sort of drain the liquidity and put it in somebody else's account or something like that, because it just would be weird, and that can't be tested. So having him be able to run those tests and really check the code for any sort of mysterious weird things was really awesome and essential, I think, to the development of this project. And he's staying on, and consulting us, and being such a huge team member and such a big part of this, and we're just so happy to have him. Then we have Alex, who's out there right now. He's helping me with some of the IT stuff and running the stream on YouTube and stuff. So hi, Alex. Thank you. You're the best. But he's our cyber IT bulldog, and we had a bot attack this morning in Telegram, and he was right on it and got right on it and got everybody out of there, and got all that stuff deleted and everything. So, but he's helping us monitor. He's always on the charts, looking at any big buys. One of the aspects that I have in here as well, and one of the rules of my game, is that you cannot buy 1% or greater of circulating supply, because if you buy 1% of circulating supply or greater, you will automatically be ineligible permanently for any sort of rewards. So no airdrops, no Bnb airdrop, no Sifu airdrop, no different kinds of airdrops at all. You are ineligible for going forward, and it's up to my discretion on whether to sort of just blacklist you or not. So so Alex is on board as our cyber bulldog, and we're happy to have him, our IT guru guy. So, and then the final member of our 4-member team is Emil Figueroa, and Emil and I I've known each other about a year now, and we're both minors. So I also, as a hobby and a way to make extra income, I'm really super into passive income, and that's one of the things that inspired me to create this project. I mine. Emil and I mine helium together, and he's worked on other projects on Algo, some NFT projects and things like that. And I just thought he would be the perfect complement to this team, because he's really enthusiastic like me, and he's really good at marketing. So so we included him on the team as well, and he brings to us the knowledge of of just DeFi in general, with being the helium miner. I mine. He mines helium and Algo and a few other ones. I mine Ethereum, I mine Helium, I mine Doge and Litecoin. And so, yeah, Emil is a great addition to the team. He brings just sort of DeFi knowledge and project experience, in addition to helping me with marketing as well. So, in a nutshell, that's our team.
Right on. No, very well detailed. Thank you very much for that. Okay, let's go into your pre-sale a little bit. So you guys are on pink sale right now. Let's take a look at this. So you've raised 88.7 Bnb right now at a 69 hard cap. It's a fair launch. So everybody's sort of going in. You got another 20 hours to go. 70% of that is going into liquidity. So let's talk a little bit about that. So what are you guys thinking that your starting market cap is going to be? What are you sort of targeting? What are your sort of thoughts on that?
Well, my price on it is well, I'm hoping that we sell like 550 Bnb. So it's unknown at this point. It's really sort of still, up in the air of how it's going to be. But if I can show you guys, let me just see if I can share my screen again. Let's see, Excel. I think I have to open that first. I'm getting better at this. Let's see, here we go. And there we go. Okay. So this is total supply. So it's 2.5 billion. The circulating supply at launch is going to be this, but I'm only going to, I'm still toggling between this amount, but I'm going to be pretty much releasing like 19%, so nobody can come in and really just buy a whole bunch, and dump. And it's another one of my anti-bot measures, which when I get to the tokenomics and start talking about that a little bit more, I'll explain the anti-bot feature that I have baked in here. So that, and then I have like a little bit for the future, 10%, which when I talk about the, I probably should talk about the tokenomics before this, but I have a buyback feature in there. And instead of burning, because we have so much of the burn feature going on with the earns and burns every day, and there's only a fixed supply, I'm going to add this into a lock of the future. So I will have some available, extra available Sifu in the future, because like I said, there's no more minting, there's no nothing. This is how much it is, and the scarcity is going to increase price, and it's part of the game, and it's one of the things that I didn't want to have happen because I'd been burned by so many inflationary projects. So I baked this into the features, which I thought was pretty awesome. And just to talk about like the team options a little bit. So these are options. This is not, nobody has a big bag. Everybody's small holders. So nobody can come in there and dump on it. And nobody's going to have the availability because of the anti-bot features to buy a huge bag and dump on the project and drain the liquidity. It's just not an option with this project. This is for the little guys. This is for us all. The billionaires can go, do something else. And this is for us. So, and then like I have another feature that I was able to add, which is a stake and rewards, which I'll talk about in just a minute. But then I have this amount for the squirrels and suitcases. And even if we open up a big amount and a huge amount gets burned, I don't think it's detrimental enough to really hurt the supply that much. But yeah, so the price, I'm predicting the price, the market cap, well, let's see. If it's this plus this, so, 0.0005. You guys can do the math out there. This times 0.005 will be the market cap. That's what I'm predicting. But we'll see. We don't know. See, that's a thing. That's a beautiful part about the fair launch, right? We don't know what it's going to be. So that's fun. I mean, get your bags loaded now, guys, because the price is pretty good right now. I will tell you the pre-sale, before the private pre-sale, the price was 0.0005. And so if we don't get there, it's considerably less right now. And if we don't get there, then, the price will be really good. So I'm telling everybody who bought, in the private pre-sale to dollar cost average in and get in now, because the bigger bag you will be the bigger the airdrop, right? So, and I've talked about the earn airdrop, but I haven't talked about the Bnb airdrop. So, and unless you want to ask me another question, I can talk about the tokenomics now,
okay, let's talk about, well, you mentioned the private, so let's talk about the private pre-sale and how much you guys raised there.
Okay, so, well, we had about we had another fair launch. Okay, I'll just spring into it. We were originally going to be on the Avalanche chain, so we raised about 500 Bnb there. the equivalent of 500 Bnb there. Unfortunately, the taxes didn't work with Trader Joe, and so the project got it got stuck over there, for lack of a better word. And so we migrated over to the Binance Smart Chain, and we're relaunching with a little bit of some improvements over here, but basically a better, project all the way around. It was silly for us to be over on the Avalanche. In America, the problem is Bnb is really hard to get in America, and there was a huge learning curve, and it's very easy to buy AVAX on Coinbase. And so, I didn't really know about, how important it was to the rest of the world and how much really the rest of the world uses BNB until I started diving into my AMAs over there. So once I did, and once, all of that happened, it was sort of all we could do was sort of, pick ourselves up by our bootstraps and, airdrop everybody some Sifu tokens and mosey on over to the Binance Smart Chain, where we feel that once the word gets out, and with all of our marketing and everything like that, that the pushes and when people find out how the earns and burns are, and they get their BNB airdrops, then they're going to, then it's just going to be like a massive success. So, it's unfortunate what happened. We raised about 500 BNB. All the costs, the liquidity, unfortunately, is stuck over there for 6 months. So some of it got drained by bots, and which is why I added the anti-bot feature. $50,000 of it was actually drained by bots. Unfortunately, there's 41,000 stuck over there right now, and the rest of all the funds plus almost my entire bag of Bitcoin I have used to pay for the migration over to the Binance Smart Chain and to launch over here. So just as a real quick, sort of elevator speech, that's kind of what happened, and that's why you see the holders, but it's all on the blockchain, and there's 320 holders right now that I airdropped from the Avalanche, and they're all small bags. There's no huge whales or anything like that. So everybody's playing by the rules so far, and we're just really we're excited. I made the mistake of saying, hey, I want to be on the Avalanche, but the BSC, I want to be on the Binance Smart Chain. And one of my AMAs, I wish I wasn't on Avalanche, and then lo and behold, the universe listened to me, and then all that happened. And then sort of now fast forward, and here we are.
There you are. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the unlocked tokens that are on the token metrics on the Pink Sale site. So when I was reading your white paper there, let me just bring it up. It says current maximum is 2.5 billion tokens. 81% of the circulating supply will be held by the pre-launch buyers. The remaining 19% of the circulating supply will be available at launch. So how do we sort of compare this chart to that?
So this is what I was just showing you.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me bring it back up again. Okay. Okay. Can you see that Excel spreadsheet? Okay.
Yes.
So, okay, getting back to, here's total circulating supply. Here's circulating supply at launch. So basically what it is all of the airdropped holders and the pre-sale holders plus all of the fair launch holders. So that's what's going to be in circulating supply at launch. Now, what I'm going to do is, and I may play with this amount, but I have modeled this after somebody who is an individual founder like myself. Forex, he did drip and Manor Farm and those kind of things, and he limited the availability of the coins at launch to prevent huge whales coming in and that kind of thing, and for price reasons. And I have more available if we need to, but right now I've allocated the amount of 222,420,000. Or 19% just available at launch. And like I said, I have the availability, but the reason why they're unlocked is because if I lock these tokens up, and this is what I ran into the problem is, I can't play my game. If I lock my Squirrels and Suitcase open and we open $1 million and the tokens are locked, then we can't play it. They currently are sitting in the in the contract address, but they are going to be moved into their respective wallets. So, the squirrels in the suitcase will have their, own wallet. But the only remaining amount at launch that's going to stay in the contract address is this 222,420. And that may change. Like all over the website, we say everything's subject to change. And I, just because I actively manage, a treasury, I know that I'm going to be in there every day. I'm going to be looking at it. And based on what's going on in the market, you have to make decisions. You can't just set it and forget it. This has to be actively managed. And so if I lock up all the tokens, then I can't do that. I can't fix the problem. If I'm locked out of my car, I can't get in it and drive it. So we're doing things a little bit differently. And, someone said to me recently, you got to put your trust in something, and the fact that, I'm fully doxxed in my background and that kind of thing, if you look at Richard Hart, he did Hex and Pulse Chain, and, he holds the biggest bag. He's never even sold one Hex. And so I've sort of modeled myself after these people, and we can't play the game. We can't have fun if all the tokens are locked up, and we can't correct for errors if everything's locked up. So anyway, that's why I've done what I've decided to do. And I was going to lock it up for the pre-sale, but I felt that was kind of a little bit misleading, because I really wanted to explain this fact that that they need to be remained unlocked, if not in the contract address, in other wallets and other addresses for the game, in order for this game to work.
Okay.
So I hope that explains it.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so let's go on to...
I hold all the tokens, so I'm not going to dump it, And any founder that tells you that they don't have big bags is either one, stupid, or two, lying. So, and they could dump at any time. Sorry, everybody does it. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, not that these are my, my bags, but I'm just saying, I could, but why would I ruin my own project? That would be dumb, right?
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so
sorry,
since this is
I'm being open kimono here. I'm like, this is my 6th AMA, so I'm just like coffeeed out. I'm like, you know what? Just bring it. I don't care.
Hey, understandable. No, right on. You guys are on a spree right now for the AMAs. That's a great thing. Like I said, in many projects that come on the show, AMAs are the best way to reach potential investors. So, yes,
totally,
absolutely. Okay, so is there a max contribution on this pre-sale that's going on right now, this fair launch?
No. So fair launch, and that's a pink sale thing. That's what truly makes it a fair launch. If you guys want to get in now and you want to be a big buyer, come in and buy 100 Bnb worth right now, because this is the only time you're going to be able to do it, because after we're live, I'm not going to let you buy more than 1%. We've got Alex the Bulldog, watching out there, and he's going to be watching all you 1%ers trying to buy in, and no, blacklisting anybody who tries to buy in, except right now. Right now is the only time you can get in and buy your big bag. This is the only opportunity that you're going to be able to have to get in. So It's a good time.
Okay. So I see that
and truly, you guys, if you don't understand this, I did pink sale AMAs all day yesterday, and if you go back to my YouTube channel, you can watch, and Pip and I talk about it, that this is what truly makes it a fair launch, is not having any minimums or maximums. And there's no hard cap in fair launches. So the difference between a fair launch, and a pre-sale is there's a fixed price, and it's, and it's a hard cap and a soft cap. And with the fair launch, it's the amount of tokens is what gets distributed. And then based on the amount of contribution, that determines the price. And that's what truly makes it a fair launch. Like, you can buy in, you can do whatever you want, it's fair. It's all fair and love and free lunches.
Okay.
Fair launches. Anyway, I can't talk.
That's okay. That's okay. Lots of coffee. I understand. I get like that too when I drink lots of coffee and energy drinks. So you guys have KYC. Obviously, you've talked about your team extensively. So this KYC, you've KYC with Pink Sale? Have you KYC with any other platforms?
Yes. Assure DeFi.
Assure DeFi. Okay.
And I will tell you, the Pink Sales KYC is very extensive. I mean, it's crazy. If I can just tell you guys about it a little bit, it's wild. They make you do a video. They make you do a video with your phone, and then they make you video logging in to prove that you're the owner and that you have the keys. I mean, they don't give you a C phrase, but you have to log in and show. And I don't know if you guys know like how all this works, but you know, nobody else can just log into the contract and just start like doing stuff like that. It's, you know, it's just only one person, you know, whatever, but they make you like do all that, and then they call you back, okay, and then at a randomized time, and they call you back, and then they answer you, they ask you like 20 of the gnarliest questions that if this was not your project, you would not be able to answer. Like, and one of the things that was really cool that I love is like, and shout out to Pink Baby Pink if you're listening, but she was like, she asked me, so, you know, who else, you know, has the keys, you know, who else is the founder, you know, who else has this ability to access this, you know, what other, you know, sort of men, whatever. And I'm like, no, it's just me. And she's like, wait, you're the women, you developed this is your project, and it's just you, like a woman? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, whoa, she's like, oh my God, that is so rad. That is so cool. We never have like any just women. So it's always like a team with a bunch of men and, you know, that kind of thing out there. She's like, I think this is like the first one that we've ever had before. So I'm happy to sort of pioneer that. And it was pretty awesome. But yeah, so the Pink Sale KYC, process is very, very intensive and very thorough. That's what I'll say. Yeah. So, but yeah.
Okay. All right. So, and Assure DeFi that you did with the KYC with as well.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, and the whole team is doxed there too. It's me and Emil and Alex and Scott. We're all doxed with Assure DeFi.
Okay. All right. So when it comes to this contract, this is a totally custom contract, right? Like you guys made it from scratch?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. So when you guys, are you thinking about doing an audit, or have you done an audit yet?
Yeah, so we have done an audit, and we're in the process of doing another one. The AMAs came up a little bit quicker than, but our last project was audited too, and it's pretty much the same. The code is a little bit different, but I've tested it and audited, and we should not have any problem testing the audit. It's sort of underway. I just have to sort of get back with the auditors and get it. But yes, good question.
Okay. Perfect. All right, so you went over quite a bit of stuff when you were speaking in the beginning. So what haven't we really covered yet that I'm interested in?
The tokenomics.
The tokenomics. Let's talk about the tokenomics.
Okay, so let me bring up this little pie chart really quick. Let's see if I can. Okay, can you guys see this now? Okay, so there's no buy tax. There's a 20% sell tax. You'll have to set the slippage to like 21%. If you guys don't understand it, just feel free. Like if I don't answer all the questions, we're really approachable. Right now we got attacked by bots, but come in the Discord and ask on the voice chat anything that you want. We have it manned 24/7 right now, and just everybody's really friendly and very inclusive here. Everybody's invited to the party, so just come in and ask your questions in the voice chat. The team's really knowledgeable. But anyway, so we don't have a buy tax. We have a 20% sell tax, and 40% of the 100% of the tax, or 8% of the 20% goes straight to liquidity. So we just have that extra sort of cushion there. So nobody's going to be stuck not being able to sell if they really have to. Although the strategy is to hodl and keep increasing your bag with what I'm going to talk about right now, which is that Bnb Weekly Airdrop. So 6% of the 20% of the sell tax is going to go into an account where it's going to be the Bnb Weekly Airdrop. So every week at a randomized time before 12 p.m. midnight on -7 UTC, before Saturday night at midnight, my time, there's going to be a randomized Bnb Airdrop. Now, this is like huge because there's really very few randomized two types of tokens. So sure, well, you know, there's plenty of people that airdrop you their own token, but to airdrop you a top 10 token on top of it is like so strategic, and I'm almost surprised that I even thought of it. So genius. But because what you can do is it's like a reinvesting model built right in. So you get your weekly airdrop of your Bnb at a randomized time, and you have to be in it to win it. So if you sell and take profits, you better buy back in, or you might miss that weekly airdrop. But you get your Bnb airdrop, and then you go ahead and you buy back in with a Sifu bag, like maybe during the dip. And then you just keep increasing your bag that way, and then you're increasing your airdrop, and so on and so forth. And it's just sort of a positive snowball effect to really get your bag bigger and to bring in that big money. But and the other thing, so there was problematic with the DAOs was the inflationary aspect, which I talked about a little bit earlier. But one of the things that I've put in here, and it's 10% or 2 of the 20% of the taxes is a buyback feature. So I'm going to buy back, and because it's so scarce and we can't mint anymore, instead of burning it because I feel like there's enough burn in there already, I'm going to buy back the tokens, and going to put them in sort of another bag into the future bag that we sort of took a look at earlier. But what's this going to protect us from is if the price goes down and there's a considerable like decrease, a huge bag gets opened, a huge scroll gets revealed, and an airdrop. I'm probably, if the 100 million isn't earned, and you know, if it's going to affect the price too much, I will probably airdrop it over a few consecutive days, so we won't have an effect on the price. But let's just say something happens where the effect of the price goes down and we need to do a buyback. I will have these funds available to me to do the buyback and to buy the price back up, and then have those tokens available for future use. And then the other part, which is so important, and I touched on it earlier, is marketing. Marketing is just, it's essential. You have to bring in new people. You have to educate. Like I said, in America, Bnb is hard to get. So we're going to do like a lot of, you know, educating and just sort of marketing out there to let everybody know about these earns and burns, and let everybody know about the frequent airdrops and the Bnb airdrops, and just really just get the word out and keep bringing in fresh and new faces. Because, you know, like I said, Toyota spent $1 million a minute on marketing, and so I sort of bring that mindset with me to this project. And as you can see, you know, we're all over the place. We already know how important marketing is, and just for longevity, and you know, to make sure that we make it to the end of all the runways, we have 10% of it going in there. And then the development is a really cool feature, because I originally had talked about vesting with my dev, and we have a little bit of a language barrier where he said things like array, he said array, and I didn't really understand what an array was, and it's Web3 talk and all this stuff or whatever. We were talking about the, you know, the development of it, but he had actually put in a staking rewards aspect of this. And so you know, we're going to have to develop the website, and this is, the devs doesn't stand for the dev. I'm not getting that much. It's going to be for the development of the project and just sort of moving it forward. But that this pie makes up the 20% of the taxes, and the really fun aspect of the second sort of profit sharing airdrop that we have included in Sifu Inu.
So 0% buy and 20% sell. So a lot of that pie chart and a lot of the fees are coming from the sells. Is there any other stream of revenue that will contribute to sort of the airdrop? So like if you're not getting any sells on your chart, how can you really do the airdrops?
There's always sells.
That is true. That, you know, like, so, that is 100% true.
So there's always sales, so I'm not really worried about it, and we want to encourage. Originally, I had it like a 10% buy and a 10% sell, and I really like toggled between back and forth, with the volume, and that was my perfect plan, or whatever. And I thought about it, and I'm like, you know what? It's just better because we really want to encourage hodling, because that's why we're having the staking, rewards. But there's always going to be sell. So to answer your question is, okay, so if for some reason there's very low sales that week, and let's say we only make, 10 Bnb in sales in the sell tax for the airdrop. So the airdrop's a little bit smaller. It's like opening up a smaller scroll. That fund is what that fund is, and it will happen once a week, whatever it is, whether it's huge or whether it's small, But the bigger bag you hold, the bigger percentage of that Bnb airdrop is what you're going to get.
Okay, perfect. So when it comes to the pre-sale, since everybody can sort of contribute whatever they want, is there going to be any kind of vesting periods for any of the private sailors, for any of the pre-sailers? How's that going to work?
So that's my project for tonight. And the vesting is available on Pink Sale. And so I had asked the dev, so this is where our language barrier came in. I was asking him for vesting periods because I do think it's important. And I think that it would be really great for everybody to sort of, and especially like, people that, since they have the ability to buy a big bag, although there are no big bag holders and there haven't been any huge contributors yet, which is great because that's really what this project's all about. But I do think that it would be good for people to just, instead of like, immediately dumping their bags, it's like, and I think that the potential that we could really like, at launch, really like, do a huge X, like do a 10X or something like that. And if that happens, and people just dump their bags, that would really suck without really getting to play the game a little bit. So I'm going to be looking at that tonight, and I'm not sure if I'm going to do 3 days or 5 days or 7 days of investing period, and whether I'm going to do a slow release or that kind of amount. But I do think that it's important, and to just sort of let everybody just take their bags and run away it would do the whole game and all my hard work a huge disservice. So I do plan to put a vesting period in of, I would say, the minimum of at least 3 days, because hopefully in 3 days, if the odds are against, the universe could do 3 burns in a day, but I would like people to at least experience one airdrop. And so whatever the vesting period, I don't want to let the cat out of the bag. Whatever the vesting period is, based on the sales, I will probably try to do at least, hopefully we'll get one Sifu airdrop, and I'll try to plan in there maybe possibly anytime a Bnb airdrop as well.
Okay. And what about for minimal holding for your airdrops? Do you have to hold anything in order to?
No.
No.
Yes. Yeah. You must have a bag to participate, but you could have one Sifu. You're not going to give very much, but yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
You have to be holding
you can hold any
to participate. You got to be in it to win it. That's my saying.
Okay.
Yes. And the bigger the bag, the bigger the reward. You have a big, huge bag. That's why it's good. And when I talked about my strategy, if you guys get airdropped like $50 worth of, Bnb, rather than just letting it sit in Bnb where it's just going to like maybe like increase like, 6% or whatever, who knows, whatever it does. But it's not going to increase the amount of, like, in my opinion, what Sifu has the potential to increase. So keep buying in there, and then you're going to keep getting the rewards in there by reinvesting, and keep buying with that's the strategy that I designed the game, and how for it to work is for you to reinvest. If you keep reinvesting for 200 days, you're going to have like 12 Lambos.
Right.
No, it was
12 Lambos.
That was a joke. No promises have been made on this. Do your own research. What is all the sayings, right? Yeah. Do your own research. Not financial advice. This is a game.
Okay.
It's very risky.
Right. So have there been any sort of specific points that we haven't really touched on yet?
I think I covered it all. It was kind of a little bit different than how I have been doing it, but I do believe that, that we've covered pretty much everything. But I'm open to, your community or you or anybody asking me anything. Like I said, I'm open kimono here. Yeah, you can Ask me anything.
Yeah, let's do that. So if the community does have any questions, guys, by all means, raise your hand if you want to talk in the voice chat. If you're too shy to talk in the voice chat, obviously put it in the text chat and I can relay it for you. There was a question here. So how much is 1% right now? Julia, do you mean like if you were to buy into the pre-sale, how much would you have to spend to get 1%?
So at launch, 1%. Let me pull this up again. So at launch, 1% would be like 13. Well, gosh, it's a lot. 130 million, 132 million. So we don't have anything near that.
Okay.
Yeah, there's nobody that has that much. I don't even have it, they couldn't even buy that much. I designed it pretty well. Let me just put it that way.
Perfect. Okay, so there is some people with their hands up. Thiago has had his hand up for quite a while here. I'm going to allow him to speak. Thiago. There you go, man. Don't forget to unmute yourself. Yeah, you got it.
I want to know, where do you get this energy to talk?
You know what? It's so funny. I don't know. I think I was just born with it because, you guys, seriously, I was a cheerleader in high school, and they would always put me in the parents section. The sort of like low energy cheerleaders they'd put in front of like the other like high schoolers because they'd stand up and cheer no matter what. But the parents were all boring and they would never get enthusiastic or cheering. But they'd be like, Dee Dee, you go over there and you stand in front of the parents and get the parents 5 minutes over there, and I'd have the parents whooping and cheering and go, let's go. Let's go, I don't know. I don't know. In my previous life, I think I was a hype mod or something. I don't know. I'm like the craziest accountant ever, right? Like, people are like, how are you an accountant? I'm like, I don't know.
Love it. No, the energy is a really important thing in this space. If you can, spearhead the energy of where you want your investors to feel, how you want them to feel, that's the way that you run projects. And we do appreciate it. So, absolutely.
Oh, thank you.
Thiago,
did you have a question?
Anything else?
That's it. Thank you.
No, all right. Let's go to Francis. He has his hand up. Go ahead, Francis. Don't forget to unmute yourself, man. There we go. Are you there, Francis?
Yeah. I don't know. Can you hear me?
Barely. Could you speak up or turn up your volume? It's really low. I missed it. Did you ask about my experience with blockchain?
I don't know if there's plan to expand to other blockchains.
Oh, okay. Well, we've already been to Avalanche, so we're done with that one. Sorry, I'm just kidding. You know what? I don't know. In sort of dealing with everything that we've said, I kind of want to stay on the Binance Smart Chain right now, but I'm open to when this runway ends, or if it presents itself. So the thing is with Binance and Ethereum and all that, it's really, I guess you can on Uniswap, but it's the taxes. The problem is taxes. And so my whole game doesn't really work on a lot of platforms. Like Binance doesn't take out taxes. And that's the problem we ran into, with Trader Joe's and that kind of thing. So right now we're planning on staying here. But if the opportunity presents itself and we get big enough to go over there, we would probably change the game. And if we get the opportunity to get listed on Binance, then we'd change it and probably, just just sort of reduce the taxes and change it a little bit like that. So, that's sort of my plans and my thoughts around that, and maybe change the utility to like lending, or I'm super into poker and games and game theory. So maybe like do like a gaming kind of utility as opposed to doing the earns and burns and, that kind of thing. I guess we could still, it depends on how much is left. See, that's the problem, because there wouldn't be a lot of supply. But I think for right now, we're planning on staying here. So, but yeah, thanks for the question, though. It's a good one. It's a good one. Yeah.
It is a good one. Yeah, always got to be open to expanding. Obviously, you came from Avalanche, like you said, but yeah, it's a solid question for sure. William, I did unmute you. Yeah, you can go ahead, man, if you did have one.
Yep. Okay, so looking at the website, I'm a little confused as far as like the tokenomics goes for the token.
Mm-hmm.
Can you like give an actual breakdown of?
Yeah, so first of all, I will just preface this with, I have not looked at the website in 2 or 3 days, and my dev is helping out, and he just went in there and tried to update the website. So some as much as possible, but the most up to date is everything that's pinned in our Telegram group. That's the most up to date, thing. But as far as the tokenomics go, it's basically what I just went over, and I think the white paper, it should be for the most part pretty correct. We did make some changes when we moved over from Avalanche, but it's basically, the earns and burns every day. I shared the max supply, the min supply, and then we have a 20% sell tax instead of a 10% buy and a 10% sell. It's just a 20% sell tax. And then the breakdown was how I did it, with 8% going to liquidity, and then the 6% for the Bnb airdrops, and then 2% each for marketing, development, and then the buybacks. So I think it's all should be there. I'm sorry, I know it's confusing. One of the opportunities that we have, I like to instead of problems or whatever, I like to say opportunities, is during the development, is to really get somebody to sort of like write that and explain it. I'm not a writer, so a lot of the white paper was written by me, and it's just sort of maybe confusing, and that's not my goal, but to make it more clear for everybody and get some really great graphics and get that out. But yeah, it's pretty much everything I went over here. If you're really still confused, there's like 5 or 6 AMAs where I go through it, every single AMA that's on my YouTube channel, Defi Damsel, and I go over it very succinctly there, as well as, I did here. You can watch the replay, and everything's on the pinned in messages in the Telegram too. And like, if there's still something you're confused about later on, feel free. Like I said, we're totally like approachable, and we're very inclusive at Sifu Inu. Good, pop in the voice chat anytime. We're running that 24/7 right now. But yeah. Unless you had a specific question, that was kind of like the overview again.
No, that's okay. Because I saw the 20% thing, and it like in the white paper, it doesn't like break from what I could see in there. The one that
because it's new.
Didn't really have a
I know. Yeah, I know. So here's the 20% again. It's 8%. 8% is liquidity, 6% is the Bnb airdrop, 2% is marketing, 2% is buybacks, and 2% is development. And we're gonna do a better graphic and get this out. It's sort of, my webmaster is, for lack of a better word, a total stoner. And he just kind of like, unfortunately, he's a huge investor, but he just is busy with other projects, and he was unable to update the website as much as we wanted to. So, unfortunately, it wasn't. Wait, are you seeing the screen? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
you are.
we can see
Okay.
that.
Okay, cool. So unfortunately, the website didn't get updated as quickly as we wanted to. We had an aggressive timeline, so but yeah, like I said, I hope that explains it. Yeah, the 20% breakdown.
Yeah, that's if you had that on the white paper, it'd be fantastic.
Yes, it's coming. Thank you for the question. It's an excellent question. And I know it's coming. I promise.
So the second thing I wanted to ask about is you briefly mentioned it, and I don't even know where you're at with it, with staking.
Yes. Okay, so the staking aspect is, yeah, I briefly mentioned it, and what is going to happen is the minute we launch and I get a breathing minute, I am going to get with my dev, and we are going to build an application, a decentralized application for our website, and all of the details have still yet to be discovered, but I have allocated 69 million for rewards. So it's a way that's going to be for you to earn extra seafood to increase your bags. If you know you're not going to sell, it's going to be a set amount of time. There'll be different promotions because I'm able to run different promotions. But once you sort of opt into it, you'll be set on that one. It's just kind of like I really model, like I geek out on like banking. Like I've been watching all these things and going back to ancient Samaria, interest rates and all these things like that. And so I'm going to model it after like banking promotions and that kind of thing. So maybe if you stake for 2 weeks or 10 days, you'll get a 10% bonus. That's like maybe one promotion that I'll do, for a high APY, because we all know how much we love those, and those are so popular, and we'll bring, maybe to incentivize and get new people in, or whatever, get you to buy a bigger bag to participate in that promo, because maybe you have your other bag locked up in your staking. So, or maybe, I'll do a real good one if you do it for, 6 months or what have you, or that kind of thing. So we're flexible there, which is awesome. And yeah, we're going to start work on it right away. And the app will be built probably within like 10 days to 2 weeks after we launch. So it's going to be coming really soon.
Okay, and then like kind of on that, it seems like you have like 40% like bonuses for people that are holding, right? Like the 30% Bnb Weekly plus the other rewards, the 8% there, right, on the sale. So that's pretty high rewards, like for holding and being able to sell.
It's 40% of the total.
Eligible for that through your staking platform, I guess.
It's 40% of the total amount. So the staking rewards, it probably is not going to be some huge amount, because the real game of this is earns and burns, but it's just an extra little bonus, maybe 1, 2, 3%, maybe 5%. I haven't decided yet. I have to take a look at it, but it'll be similar to maybe like a BlockFi, or like a percentage what you earn on your BTC, your Bitcoin, or something like that, maybe like 5 or 6%. But it's still an extra incentive, and if you're not going to sell it, then you might as well stake it anyway. But yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks, William. Okay, we're gonna go to Josh Crowley. Go ahead, man.
Oh, my question kind of got answered a minute ago, but I guess while I got you on here, I like the fact that you're an accountant. I mean, that does make people feel a little better about, who's handling the project behind the scenes. But what actually made you decide to get into making your own thing?
So funny. You know what? And I was just thinking about this the other day. It's a great question. So I got into DeFi. I got into, helium. I got into mining. I started mining with GPUs. I got, and my friend was just like, Didi, like, you should do your own coin. And I was like, yeah. This was like a year ago. And I'm like, no, or whatever. And then I thought, it would be kind of cool. And I thought about it, and, I watched some videos on how to, like, I geek out on YouTube. Like, I was like, how to do your own project and how to start your own coin. I started binge watching, and that was kind of cool. And I thought about, I could do a charity coin. And then I watched a lot of charity coins launch and kind of fail. And then I kind of saw it, and I was like, excuse me, I'm like, I need a better idea than that. And so I just kind of left it. I'm like, I'm never going to do anything. And like, lo and behold, I got burned by these DAOs. And that was just like the straw that broke the camel's back. I'm like, you know what? If nobody else is going to do something that's going to actually make me some money, I'm going to create my own thing, fix all the dang problems that are out there with all these stupid high APY inflationary projects that are crappy, that have no, randomization, that people can just buy in and just, sort of shuck the system or whatever. I'm like, I'm going to just create my own. And I'm like, this is a good idea. Like, finally, I had the idea for my coin, and I was like, you know what? I can do this. If somebody else can do this, why can't I? I have the background, I have the knowledge, I have the intelligence. I just was the perfect. For me, I was the perfect person to do a project and launch, and make myself some money along with like a bunch of other people. I'm like, you know what? I know how to make money. I've invested in real estate. I used to flip houses, on the side of being an accountant. I've always been an investor. I started doing, investments when I was, 7 years old. I started making money. I'd go around. I had all the neighbors, saving. Okay, this dates me, but like back when recycling was huge, I had all the neighbors saving their cans and their newspapers or whatever, and I had to go around and I'd collect them all, and I'd have my dad take me to the recycling center every Saturday, and I'd collect all the money. But I had everybody else like doing all the work and collecting. I just pick it up and take it in and get paid. So, it's just my nature. It's just who I am. And I was just waiting for the right idea and opportunity to come along. And then when I got burned by the DAOs, I was just like, this was a no-brainer. So, yeah.
Right on. Appreciate it.
Hope that answers your question. That's a good one. I haven't even said any of this stuff before. It's funny. You made me think about it.
Thanks, Joshua. Okay, let's go to Monk. There was probably some more people, but their hands have been put down. So if you guys have any questions, just raise your hand again. Sometimes it just goes down over time. Monk, go ahead. Oh, Sadiq, that's right. So Monk, go ahead first, and then we'll go to Sadiq. I'll give you about 10 seconds, Monk. You have to unmute yourself as well. Okay, you might have got dropped from the call. That's all right. We'll go to Sadiq. If Monk has anything else, I'm sure he'll raise his hand again. Go ahead, Sadiq. Sadiq.
Yeah. Good evening, guys. I'm right here.
Hey, man.
Yeah, good evening. How are you, man? Hello,
Good.
Defi Damsel.
Hello.
Hello, how are you, Defi Damsel?
I'm very good, thank you.
I must say, I love your energy. I mean, it's
Thank
it
you.
seems you're giving me this influence as well, man.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. I've got a couple of questions, and first of all, you've been talking about, of course, you've been an investor for quite a long time, which I kind of see, some signs, of course. Yeah. So first, I'd like you to please share with us the current financial status of your team, and of course, I also wanted to know like the state of the technical team. I mean, the level of management, and of course the development. So do you think with the current output and every single thing you've done on this project, do you think your management is at a very high level? Do you think it's at that very high level management that you can rate something like a 5-star level management, stuff like that, and the development, of course?
Yeah, so, my developer is a key, huge player and a partner with Pink Sale. So he has the utmost sort of experience, integrity, has done so many jobs and does DApps and has done so many projects on successful projects on Pink Sale. So I was lucky enough to have them. So I would definitely say that our development is 5-star. And then I have a key developer on my team, which is, I'm so lucky to have Scott on my team because he's just absolutely 5-star as a senior principal software engineer, veteran just like me. And the fact that like nobody's done what I've done. Yeah, you look at, it was so funny when Scott and I were debating about getting doxed or not. We were like, well, if we put our experience out there, it's going to take one quick Google search and our LinkedIn's are going to pop up. Because if we say, we were the like treasury manager at Toyota, we implemented, quantum. If I say I was, implemented quantum and I, did the accounting for, $12 billion worth of, Toyota's treasury. I mean, there's nobody else in the world, literally, that has ever done that but me. So, they're still using quantum today, and I just, happen to be at the right place at the right time. So, I mean, I think with my experience, I would definitely say it's 5-star plus. And so I have that sort of management and expertise absolutely in hand. And so does Scott, coming from Oracle, and sort of being the senior, which is the teacher of the principal. I dated a guy when I was in my 20s last week, just kidding, who was a principal, and he was an MIT graduate. I mean, and he called me and he goes, Laura, I got offered, a job, $300,000 a year. And this was like in the 80s, 90s. And so that was a lot of money. That's like $1 million a year. And he's like, he actually graduated from Stanford with a PhD in physics, which is where he ended up. But he's like, Laura, I got a job as a principal. I'm like, what, a principal of a school? Like, what is that? And he's like, no, a principal software engineer. I go, you don't know anything about software. He goes, well, they're going to teach me. Hewlett Packard's going to teach me. But the crazy thing is I can only work in 3 cities in the entire world. And he's like, so I have to move to Moscow in order to do my job. And that's how like sort of scarce and sort of like important a principal job is. And Scott, who was the developer of my team, was a senior principal of 50 principals underneath them. So he taught all of these people how to be like amazing software engineers. So, and actually he's from Australia and had to live here in San Francisco for many years while he was the senior principal. So I would say absolutely, like, yeah, 5-star all the way across.
5-star. Wow. That's really nice. Thank you, Defi Damsel. Your name really
You're
suits you.
welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sadiq.
You're welcome.
Okay, Monk is back.
Thank you, Venom.
Let's allow Monk to speak. Monk, hopefully you don't get dropped this time, but you are able to speak. You just have to unmute yourself. Oh, there we go. Mike's moving. Monk. Maybe your headset's muted. Like,
There. Think we heard you.
Yeah, I said something.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, Telegram's pretty shit for some people.
I know it sucks. And the one thing that I found that's really good with Telegram is doing it through, a computer, PC, or Mac or something. I found that the connection is so much better over the web than through just a regular phone.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, for sure.
Don't be shy, everybody. Ask a question. I don't bite, I promise.
Okay, Monk, if you do have a question, man, just find a spot. If you manage to get your mic working, just find a spot where you can sort of fit your question in. We're going to go on to Crypto Stash. And like I said, after he's done his question, if you manage to figure it out, by all means, jump in there. Crypto Stash, you're good to go, man. Just like I say every time, make sure to unmute yourself. I think he got dropped from the call too. Okay.
Goodness.
Yeah, it happens. Okay, let's go to number 17. We'll go to Young Investor after, and then go for it.
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
Hey, what's up?
All right. So my question is kind of a general one. It doesn't necessarily pertain to the project here. But I like to ask this question in a lot of AMAs that I do attend. What advice would you tell your younger self about crypto that you know now versus when you first started out?
Oh, wow. What a good question. I was going to just say it was generically like buy low, sell high, but I guess I kind of knew that. That's not something that I didn't know. I would say be really careful of scammers. I mean, it's such a scam society today. I mean, I got the craziest like MetaMask scam that was like, they're just like, we're going to shut down your MetaMask account if you don't like log in to this phishing website and give me your seed phrase. But they're getting more sophisticated. And
Is that
every time you log in, what?
Is that the one that's the email that's been going around?
Yes! Okay. I got another one from them. It's crazy. And I'm like a moderator. I don't know if I've said it in this AMA, but I'm a moderator for a very large Facebook group, a DeFi Facebook group, and I posted it in there, and it's just, I just want everybody to know, because I hate getting scammed. And so I'm the master teacher dog. So, I just want everybody to know, and I would tell my younger self, don't get scammed, and just be so careful. Never trust anybody who DMs you first. I had this one person, DM me pretending that they were Fat Boy and, I just, no, BitBoy, whatever it was. And I just like, no, do not fall for these scams. Never, ever give anybody your seed phrase. Don't click on any links anywhere. I got like PTSD before I click on a link. I'm like, oh, is it a good one? I bookmark everything. I bookmark all of my sites. That's just the best advice that I could give anybody, is like, just be very careful and make sure you double check and triple check that that's the official channel. It's the official one. It's the right contract address. It's not a phishing site. Never give your seed phrase out, ever, 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 under any circumstances, unless you've got a new device. And that would be the best advice, I think, that I could tell anybody, because they are just out there left and right, and we just see so many things. I lost my whole bag. I lost all my MetaMask. Oh, they looked like a legitimate site. I mean, I had a pink sale one trying to get me to give them their seed phrase, like this fake pink sale site. I'm like, oh. Anyway, but good question. That was a good one. I like it. Cool. Made me think. You made me think today. I'm like, I got all this down, nobody's going to challenge me. That was a good one.
Awesome, number 17. Thanks, man. Okay, go for it. I'm going to let you go ahead, man. Go for it. His bio is, I want to ask a question.
Yeah, I want to ask a question.
There he is.
Actually, this is my first freelance project, which I'm gonna be putting my bags in. So after I put my bags in, the soft cap was reached. Then I checked my contributions, which I wanted to claim my tokens, but I saw the thing the soft cap was still on. So I asked if I am a friend which also put her bags in. Then she told me that fair launch, since the fair launch, that it's gonna continue stretching to the preset ends. So I want to confirm from you how true that is.
Great question. No, there's so much confusion. And even at first, when I started, learning about the differences between fair launch and a pre-sale, it's very confusing. So there's no hard cap. So once the soft cap is reached, the only thing that ends, and it goes until, contribute as much as you want, but the only thing that ends is the time. So the fair launch ends tomorrow, well, depending on where you are, it's my tomorrow, at 6 p.m. UTC. So March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone. Everyone's Irish on St. Patrick's Day. It goes through the 17th at 6 p.m. UTC. So that will determine the price. And we don't know the price yet. So we don't know what it's going to be. Right now, it looks like, a very, very, very good price, but more people are going to continue to buy in. So the price will be higher by the time as more and more people contribute. And then when it's the final amount is ended, then we would determine, like, if the price ends up being 550, Bnb, let's say we've sold 550 Bnb, which has been my projection, then the price will be 0.0005, which is about where we're projecting where we're going to be by tomorrow, by the end of the fair launch. But hopefully that answers your question. I really appreciate you buying in, and this is your first one. That's so exciting.
Yeah. Thank you for
Yeah,
that.
good. Did that make sense?
Yeah, it did. Love sense. Now I understand more fellow players. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go.
Yeah, go for it. Thanks, man. Thanks for the question. Young investor, I know you just messaged me there. I had you unmuted. There you go. I unmuted you again. Young investor. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, young investors
Hey.
in the building. Hello, Venom. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, man.
Good morning. Defi, good morning. I must
Good
applaud you for
morning.
the presentation. So my question is that I checked on your roadmap. I'm still confused about it. I saw private sale with friends and family. Then I saw pre-sale. And now you are doing fair launch. Can you explain better? Because I'm
Yeah,
confused.
yeah. I'm sorry. The roadmap. It's what you have when you have a stoner webmaster. Yeah, it's not ideal. We just wanted to get it as close as possible to being correct. But basically, what we had is we had a private fear launch over when we were on Avalanche, and we had I touched on this a little bit. We had basically about 550 equivalent to 500 Bnb about in pre-sale, and the price ends up being it was close to like 0.0004 to 0.005 about it. And basically what had happened is so we had the pre-sales over there. The thing didn't work. It didn't work with Avalanche, and Trader Joe's didn't take out the taxes, and the whole thing sort of like got discombobulated in front of my face. And so we had to migrate over here. So we took all of the fair launch money that was raised, and some of it's stuck in liquidity over there, unfortunately, for 6 months. And so I had to contribute my money, a large sum of my money, and bring it over for the migration and the development. I'm putting it over onto the Binance Smart Chain. But I feel that with the word, that when the word gets out and the success of this, and with the liquidity being at 8%, that we're going to have no problem, reaching our price points, and that any sort of dilution or anything that happens based on the pre-sale, the prices are going to be the same. But the only like sort of like maybe thing to consider would be the fact that we do have like 320 like token holders already that have been airdropped the tokens as well. But like I said, there's no big bags that are holding. Most of them are like my friends and family, and they actually paid just the same price. It's a higher price. So there's a Feed the Village. And did I mention the Feed the Village and the Starve the Village? Have I talked about that yet here? Okay, so there's a Feed the Village and a Starve the Village concept, and most people do Feed the Village. Like when they launch a token, all their friends and family, they give it to them for pennies on the dollar kind of thing, and then everybody else who buys in later sort of like is sort of screwed over, right? But right now we have the reverse Feed the Village or a Starve the Village. Like all my friends and family that bought it and actually paid a higher price. Sorry guys, dollar cost averaging by the fair launch. I've told you all. But we sort of got like, a reverse Feed the Village going on, where the price right now currently is way less than everybody paid in the pre-sale. So it's actually an advantageous time to get in. But yeah, that's a good question. Thank you for the question. Yeah, hopefully I explained it and answered it.
Okay, I have another question. As a
Yeah.
young investor, checking on the roadmap now, there's no marketing, no partnership in the particular website you just wrote. So I want to know if there any partnership and marketing you are doing, because the roadmap I checked, I didn't see anything there. So I want to know if will this project be based on organic growth or there will be marketing and partnership?
Oh, tons of marketing. I mean, that's how I'm here. You know, you've seen me all over. I've done 9 AMAs. I'm all about marketing. And that's one of the things that sort of I mentioned that I bring to my bag. I worked for Toyota Motor Sales at the time. Toyota was the 5th biggest company in the entire world. And I didn't work for like the production line that actually manufactured the cars. I worked for the marketing company, Toyota Motor Sales. So I bring that sort of like aspect of it. I come from the mindset of spending $1 million a minute still isn't enough on marketing. So that's why when I went over the marketing thing, the tokenomics, I have 2% of the 20% going straight to marketing, and I'll probably use some of the development 2% as well to go to marketing, because it's so important on the growth of a project. I want to do educational videos to bring people in. You constantly have to bring people in to keep it fresh and keep it new, and I know how important that is, and I know that it's essential to project success. So I absolutely plan on spending as much as possible as needed on marketing to ensure the success of my project.
I must thank Venom for giving me the opportunity to speak with you. So the thing I want to know, I went to your Telegram group. I asked question about the tax. One of the admin told me it's 10% buy, 10% sell. The other one told me it's 20% sell, without telling me the percentage for buy. So I want to hear from you, what's the tax after this launch?
Yeah, so it's 20%. I wasn't sure. I've tried to get everybody up to speed, and so it's 20%. It was previously a 10% buy and a 10% sell, but I just pushed that 10% buy tax sort of over to the sell side, and so all of the tax is, you don't get it, any sort of tax for buying, and it's 20% sell, and then it's this breakdown that let's see if I have it up here still that I showed you. So the 20% of the 20%, which equals 100%, 40% or 8% goes to liquidity. 36% of the 20% will be the Bnb Weekly Airdrops, and then 2% is marketing, buybacks, and development. So it's 20%.
Is your tax flexibility at all?
The tax what?
Yes, is it flexibility?
Oh, is it flexible?
Can you?
Yes, I can change it, but I'm not planning on it unless it's like really, really, important to it. But I'm not going to do that. It's just like I have to have the ability to change it in order to play my game. Like I have to have the tokens unlocked as well. And it's just one of the things that has to happen in order for my idea to work. But like I said, there's limited access, and something in accounting we call segregation of duties. And so nobody has any other duties. They're all segregated with me, and I'm a control freak. So I'm not going to change it. If I do change it, it would be very minimal, and it would be with public knowledge, and everybody would be announced and informed of it.
Okay, I have one
Great
more
question.
and who
Yeah,
is
sure.
the last question?
I like
want
it.
to know about your community. Did the investors has a say in your project, or what you and your team said will be the final decision? I don't know if you get my question.
Okay, so you want to know about the community and what would be the final
Yes.
position? I don't understand.
I want to know, do investor has a say in your project, or what you and the team?
Okay, I understand the question now. Yeah. Okay. So one of the problems with the DAOs is that, okay, and I looked to Forex, who was the inventor and the creator and founder of Drip, for this question. And unfortunately, the problem with people is if they're allowed to vote on things, they will vote for the quickest buck, and not necessarily something that is going to be for the long term, the best interest of the project. And so I'm I'm a control freak, and I want the best, and I want us all to make a lot of money, and I'm really good at making money. And so I am going to, I am in control of the project and of the game, and I'm not going to let the community decide to destroy it and for a quick buck. So yeah, no, that was one of the problems with the DAOs. Yeah, they would vote on things, and it was not in the best interest of the project. So I had the best interest of the project at heart, and I and modeling after Forex, where he has the same philosophy, I'm going to sort of stay in control and do what's best for the project, because I am the believer in it, and I am the founder and the creator, so I have its best interest at heart. So thanks for the question.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Angry Investor. Okay, guys, just a couple more questions here. We're probably going to wrap it up pretty soon. I have to go pretty soon. So sorry about that. I'm sorry also that I haven't been talking very much. You've been absolutely killing it. Just, you got the reins right now, and you've covered so much stuff, and it's incredible. And I just like to hear you go on and on and on about your project. So, if you're covering it, I don't really have any questions to ask. So, let's go for MetaBoy. Like I said, just a couple more questions, guys. And then, like I said, we're going to wrap it up. So, MetaBoy, go ahead, man. MetaBoy, you're good to go, man. Might have to unmute yourself. Okay. So 10 seconds, and then we'll move on to the next one. I think that there was a question in the text chat. Let me just see here. Let's see. No, we answered monks. Oh, okay. Here's this one. So, I think you might have got dropped from the call anyways. So, basically, the question is, it's kind of a paragraph. Let me just summarize it here. Sifu is a meme coin, but meme coins are dependent on some situations and stuff to get the value / potential. So what is being put in place to ensure that its gain / value and potential? Wait. So what has been put in place to ensure that it gains value and potential in the long run?
Okay. So it's kind of like everything that I've put in place, and this is basically everything I've been talking about. So the earns and burns, which are going to bring people in, and they're going to tell their friends, and word of mouth is the best kind of advertising and marketing available. And so, having the tweets put it out, oh, big airdrop, and, just people telling their friends and doing that daily sort of like draw to get people in, like, oh, did you tune in today? It was like a huge wallet, and then, oh no, I got to go watch it. And then they'll tell their friend, and that kind of thing, to sort of like keep people in and bringing new fresh faces, because they're going to, when a big wallet opens up on an earn day and people get airdropped something big, they're going to be like, whoa, this is like so cool, right? And they're going to tell their friends. And then or when they get a big Bnb airdrop and then that gets, or they reinvest and then they've grown their bag, they'll brag about how big they've grown their bag. I've put into so many different ways to sort of earn and to sort of draw the attention in and to bring it in and to keep it sustainable long term, with the buybacks and the marketing and the development and all the different things that I've put in here that I've been talking about this whole time. I really think sets us apart and keeps us interesting. And the short answer is, look, we've got a 420 day earn or burn day runway right there, right into it. So automatically we've got over a year right there. So and then we have set aside stuff for the future. I'm even talking about adding a utility. I mean, there's so many different aspects to this that I really feel sets us apart and really makes it interesting and for new people to come in. That I've never seen anything like this before. I just sort of adding on. When I was the type of girl working for Toyota, we got to order our own cars, and I literally ordered a car, a RAV4, that had every custom option available, like push button start, like I could start my car from inside my house. I had custom paint jobs. I had like electric seat warmers. I had the V6 engine. I had for the kids in the back, the thing. And I didn't change my personality with this project. I put everything I could possibly think of to make it fun and cool and profitable into it. And I think I've done a pretty good job, if I do say so myself. So I think that once the word gets out, and with all the marketing and everything that we have planned, that it's going to assure its longevity and success for the long haul. Good question.
Okay. And I just have to touch again. I know that I sort of asked you in the beginning, and might have got lost in translation. With the audit, are you still determining what company you want to go with the audit?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I do not remember the name of the. I'm sorry. I'm looking at my phone right now. I don't remember the name of what? Oh, somebody say something?
Keyshield. KISHIELD. Keyshield. Keyshield.
Oh, the Keyshield. We did. We had our audit last time. Was with. I can't. Is that who it was? Keyshield? I don't remember off the top of my head. So I'm going to go with that same team again. But my developer works with auditors, and so I sort of put him on a hold until after the launch in the ADA. Let me see. Making me look at my phone. Let me see. Okay, here. Oh, this could be a lot of, let's see. Pinned messages. Nope. I don't have it in here. I might have to get back to you on that one. I'm sorry, I can't seem to find it right now. But it's a reputable audit company that gave us our shield last time through Pink Sale, so we'll be able to earn the audit badge. But they're a very popular audit company. Sorry for not remembering. The one thing I'm stumped on. What's the name of your audit company? Question mark. There we go. Let him answer. The developer. So let's see. He's in Nigeria, so he might be asleep. But yeah, I might have to get back to you on that one and put it in the chat. I'm sorry. There's too many telegrams. It wasn't in the pinned messages to go through right now. But but yeah, it's a reputable company, and they audited our contract before, and they go through Pink Sale, so they're a Pink Sale partner.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Let me just go to the text chat real fast. I don't see any more hands up. Just take a quick scroll through the text. I'm going to give you guys about 10, 15 seconds. If there's any good AMA questions that we sort of haven't really covered, by all means ask. If it can be simply found on the website and the white paper, like I say every single time, please try to refrain from asking it. Try to have the questions AMA related, that where you can't really answer them on your own. But once again, no question is a bad question. Like I always say, guys, absolutely no question is a bad question. So
yeah, still looking for it. I hate not knowing stuff.
yeah, understandable. I'm the same way.
It bugs me. Now I know I'm like a trivia girl too. I want to look up, and look up the answer on Google. I don't know what we did before Google, where you can look up stuff. I guess we had encyclopedias. Let's see. No, it was after that. Let's see. No? Is this it? No. No? This it is. K-Shield. KIS Shield audit. This was our audit. So KIS Shield. KI Shield is what it really is.
So Kadir was right. And that is for this contract? This BSC contract?
We're going to go with the same people. Yes.
Oh, same people. Okay. Perfect. So Kadir, still legend.
Audited
You were
our
right,
other.
man.
Yes. Sorry, you know. Sorry, you guys know better than me.
There's a lot of
I'm
smart
just in
investors
charge
in
of
here.
this
They
whole thing.
always do their own research in here. They're great.
No, I know. I'm not kidding you. I love doing these AMAs because like everybody like keeps me like straight on my game. Like I don't know how anybody could even get through these things and didn't know what they're doing. I have seen a couple like they put people up on AMAs. I almost felt bad for them because the community knows. I mean, they know everything, and like if you don't know what you're talking about, they're gonna let you know about it.
Yeah,
right?
it's happened a few times in here.
Good thing I actually really know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. It's pretty cringy when you see the projects come in that don't really know or can't really answer. I just put myself on mute and I just pray that, they get through it.
Oh, really? So you see it, right? You see it.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I don't know why they put themselves in a firing line, a firing squad, because they'll murder you, like, I'm just, whoa, like, yeah. But you know what? Don't put yourself out there if you don't know what you're doing. That's my thing,
It's true. Okay, PCI, final question, man. I unmuted you. You can go ahead, ask whatever you want, and then I think we're going to wrap it up after that, guys. So,
hello, guys.
Hey, PCI.
Hi.
I got a bit late, so to the AMA, so I don't know if this question was, asked already, but have you planning on mixing your project with the IRL like business of yours?
Oh, are you talking about like utility?
Yeah, your project with mixed with your IRL life, real life business.
Oh, in real life?
Yeah,
well, yeah. I mean, so what I'm thinking of doing, if we do add a utility, I'm like I super geek out on I mentioned it. I did mention it a little bit earlier on banking and stuff like that. So I'm thinking about possibly doing some sort of lending, that kind of platform. And I apologize. It's my son just getting home from school. And but yeah, so so either a lending platform or I mentioned, I'm super into poker, and so maybe adding a poker aspect to it. Online poker is not legal in the United States, so maybe doing some kind of poker aspect, online, poker with a token and that kind of thing. We have a guest, a guest visitor popping in there in the video, but this is Mason, everybody. Okay, all right, okay. Where's your dad?
Hi, Mason. Welcome to the AMA.
Yes, he was supposed to stay gone until 5 o'clock. I guess it is a little bit after 5. So, but yeah. So anyway, but yeah. So the utility possibly in real life would be lending, or possibly a gaming or gambling kind of utility is what I'm looking into. But or maybe a play to earn. Those are really popular. The one you just saw here is a super gamer. Minecraft, Fortnite, all that kind of stuff. Bringing something Minecrafty into it to me would be sure, amazing. But yeah, I'm definitely open to it, and I would love to bring my IRL, my in real life experience to it. And but currently I'm kind of thinking that the banking aspect and the lending is the banks have all the money. This game is to make money, right? And so I want to do something that's going to make the most amount of money for the little guy, for us, for the non-1%ers, for the 99%ers, right? So and the big banks are the ones that have all the money, so let's just copy them and make the money. I mean, that's sort of my mindset. But yeah, thanks for the question.
Thank you for your answer. I really enjoy your energy, by the way.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, I'm born with it. I've also had a lot of coffee too.
We need that on those long AMA hauls. I understand completely.
Yeah.
Okay, so guys, that being said, I think that we're going to go on to the giveaways. We've answered a lot of questions this AMA. If anybody's new, just joining in, we've answered them all. So if you do have any questions that weren't answered, just go over to the Telegram, ask DeFi Damsel, just DM her, DM one of the mods, message in the Telegram. By all means, that they're going to get to you. You know, yeah. So DeFi Damsel, it's been a
Absolutely.
pleasure having you on. You've been a great host, a great leader, and you know, like I said, I didn't really get a whole lot to say, but that's okay because you answered basically everything in your initial speech. So it was awesome. It was awesome. So
Well, thank
okay.
you so much for having me. I've had so much fun with you guys. Your community is awesome. And I'm so, happy to have you guys and to bring you onto our family and sort of join both of our families. It was so much fun this afternoon. You guys have been so nice and so welcoming. And so, just A+ community here. And I just hope that, maybe ongoing in the future, maybe we'll get to, speak again. And and like I said, I'm very approachable. And some of you that missed it, we're doing a $10 promotion. So if you sign up for all the socials, all 6 of the socials, and do a quote tweet out, we'll give you $10 worth of free Sifu, so you can literally start with 0. So just come onto the Telegram and all of that, and in the promos, just ask Rose about the promos and that'll pop up. But it's been so much fun being here, and it's just been so great, and I'm so just happy and excited about the project, and I just had a total blast this afternoon. So thanks again for having me, Venom, and hopefully I'll be able to see you again and your community again sometime.
Yeah, we would love it if you came back on and just filled in with how the development's going of the project, see where you're at. We'd love to have you back.
And I would love to do that. Thanks again so much.
Perfect. Okay, so we're going to do the giveaways. If you want to stick around for the giveaways, by all means, stick around. If you got stuff to do, I completely understand if you want to dip out too. So I'll leave that up to you. With that being said, that's my favorite line, but we're going to go on to the giveaways, guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to do wheel spin for the 0.5 Bnb giveaway, and then Venom's going to come on and we're going to have a little bit of a voice chat as well. So if you got that being said, sorry guys, Julia. Yeah, so we're going to do, like I said, my giveaway, and then Venom's going to come on for the voice chat, and whatever he wants to talk about, he's going to talk about. And if you guys want to stick around, please do. Venom hasn't been around in the channel for a little while. He's been busy. So it would be great if you guys did stick around. So let's just do wheel spin. You guys know how this works. If you're new here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line here. You guys, please type AMA. Please type it only once so that I don't have to delete a whole bunch of duplicates. I don't like deleting duplicates. And if you post it more than 3 times this time, I'm going to delete you out of the wheel. You won't be invited to the wheel. I'm putting my foot down this time, so you heard it here. I'll give you about 15 seconds to get your AMAs in. I'll share my screen. We'll open up the wheel and we'll get going. I'm going to pawn those who cheat, Tom. You're absolutely right.
DGJL. Oh my god.
No PCI? Okay, I got you, man.
Sorry.
It's okay, man. You're almost there. What did you say? The 18th or something?
Yeah.
18th, yeah. Don't go back in. It gets longer.
Yeah, no.